Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Sahana Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Shruti Smriti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavat Padam Shankaram Lokashankaram Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutra Bhashya Krutau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punah. Ishvaro Gururatmeri Murti Bheda Vibhagine Vyomavad Vyapta Dehaya Dakshinamurtaye Namaha. Shri Harim Paramanandam Upadeshtaramishwaram Vyapakam Sarvalokanam Karanam Tam Namamyaham. Aparokṣānubhūtirvai Prochyate moksha siddhaye Sadbhireva prayatnena Vikshaniya muhurmuhu. The last several verses that we saw, the author established the Dvaita Mithyatvam or Prapancha Mithya. That Prapancha Dvaita, the duality is Mithya. Duality is Mithya, means apparent. So Vedanta does not deny duality in a way, but it is Mithya. It is appearance. And therefore, first we distinguish Atma from Anatma or Atma from Prapancha, the universe. And in saying that Atma is totally different from Anatma, unaffected Anatma, that the self is unaffected by any attributes or limitations of the body, that the body cannot be in any way be Atma. Body being what it is, body is mortal, Atma is immortal, body is limited, Atma is limitless, body is an aggregate of many components, Atma is ever one, homogeneous, and thus that the characteristics Atma has are totally in contrast with those with the body, and therefore body cannot be Atma. Atma is distinct from the body. So this is important. Evam dehadvayad anya Atma. That Atma is anya, different from dehadvayad, from the gross as well as subtle bodies. Purusha, Atma is Purusha, Purna, is complete. Ishvara, totally independent, not ruled by anything. Ishvara means ruler also. So Atma, the consciousness, can be called Ishvara also, ruler. Ruler without ruling. So of course this consciousness, Atma or Brahman, is called Ishvara also, with the upadhi of Maya, with the upadhi of the three gunas, Sattva, Rajas and Tamas. Upadhi means the costume. So when Brahman puts on the costume of Maya, then he gets the designation Ishvara. The predominance of Rajoguna, he becomes the creator. Predominance of Sattva-guna becomes the sustainer. With predominance of Tamoguna, he becomes the destroyer. And gets different designations: Brahma, Vishnu, Rudra. So Ishvara he is. But that is when we look at Brahman or consciousness or self from the standpoint of the universe. Because we find that universe is ruled or controlled. We find that everything seems to follow in order. Nothing seems to have the freedom to transgress the existing order. Therefore we say that there must be somebody who establishes, who imposes the order. In that sense, we say that Brahman is the ruler, ordainer. You find that everything sustained systematically, intelligently. So there must be a sustainer. You find things that are created, things that sustain, things that are destroyed. So there must be a creator, a sustainer, a destroyer. In this manner, upon Brahman, we superimpose ideas of creator, sustainer, dissolver. Whereas, from the standpoint of Brahman, there is no creatorship, no sustainership, no ship at all, meaning that it's totally actionless. So Brahman is creator but not creator, sustainer but not sustainer, cause but not cause. Cause of the creation but still not cause of creation. We find that the creation or universe is a creation, number one. We see that universe is a creation because it has the characteristics of something that is created. Like a pot is created, this is an intelligent creation serving a certain purpose. It is also an assembly of a number of parts or components. So this is the characteristic of something that is created. That it is created as an assembly of a number of components which are all put together intelligent like that of a clock, which serves a certain intelligent purpose, has a role to play in the scheme of things. So we can see that there is intelligence behind everything, intelligence in everything, intelligence behind everything. Then we say that this is an intelligent creation. So we find universe an intelligent creation. Therefore we impose Brahman, the idea of creation. So there must be a creator. So who is the creator? So the buck must stop ultimately at last at Brahman. So there must be a creator. So Brahman is creator. It's all sustained. There is an order. So he must be sustainer. We find that what is created also is in course of time destroyed, and that's how that process is going on systematic. So Brahman is destroyer. So when you look at Brahman or truth or reality or Satyam from the standpoint of the universe, then we attribute the ideas of creator, sustainer, dissolver. Karma Adhyaksha, the witness of all the actions. Karmaphaladata, the dispenser of all the results, etc. Ishvara. But when you look at Brahman itself, there is no will on the part of Brahman, no action on the part of Brahman of creating, sustaining, dissolving. You understand? If Brahman is creator, then he is in trouble. Meaning that, what Swami used to say, Brahman is, then you would look at the universe, have I created this? You feel miserable, but is created, but not created in the primary sense. As Lord Krishna says, Maya adhyakshena prakriti suyate sacharacharam. That is Prakriti, my Maya, that creates, sustains, dissolves in my conscious presence. All I am is conscious presence. In my presence, the Maya gets enlivened and does everything. But Maya is really an inert principle. Itself cannot do. So it must be a conscious principle that should do all this. Therefore Brahman also is indirectly called the cause of the creation. In primary sense, Maya is the cause. In secondary sense, Brahman is the cause. Therefore, even though Brahman gets the designation of creator, sustainer, dissolver, etc., in Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna says that Sarvabhūtāni kaunteya prakritim yanti mahi kaunteya. All the beings ultimately merge into my prakriti at the time of dissolution. They all emerge from prakriti at the time of creation. And thus I bring forth this creation again and again, wielding my prakriti, my Maya. Meaning, there Lord Krishna says, I am the creator. I am the dissolver. If you create, if you dissolve, if you are the agency of creation, then you are performing karma, then you will have to bear the result of the karma. He says no. Dasamam tani karmani nibadnanti dhananjaya. Hey Dhananjaya, hey Arjuna, all these karmas do not bind me. Udasina vadasinam asaktam teshu karmasu. Because, well, all these karmas, creation, sustenance, dissolution are taking place, udasina, I am the uninvolved witness. Asaktam teshu karmasu, unattached with the karma. Unattached with karma phala, having no agenda or whatever. So, therefore, Brahman or Atma or consciousness itself is free from all attributes of creation, sustenance, even dissolution. However, first time out of Maya, which is the costume of the Upadhi, he associates all those attributes. So, Atma, Purusha, Ishvara, I am Ishvara. Meaning what? In my presence everything happens. Sarvatma Sarvupascha. I'm the self of all, and I am manifest in all the forms. I pervade all the forms. Sarvatita, at the same time, I transcend them all. So this is how Atma has been explained here. And then in so many verses as we saw, that Anatma does not stand in contrast to Atma. Atma stands in contrast to Anatma, but Anatma does not stand in contrast to Atma. Atma is distinct from Anatma, but Anatma is not different from Atma. The actor is different from the beggar, but the beggar is not different from the actor. Therefore, the whole prapancha, this gross body, subtle body, stands for the whole universe. Because add up all the gross bodies of all living beings, then you have the gross universe. And add up all the subtle bodies of all beings, then you have the subtle universe. So what applies to one upadhi consisting of the gross and subtle bodies, same thing applies to the whole universe. So in so many verses, in 8 verses, prapancha mithyatvam, the prapancha or dvaita is mithya, is not real. If Anatma was as real as Atma, then there would be a division or duality. If the beggar was as real as actor, then there would have been 2, but the beggar is only in the costume. Beggar is only superimposition. It is mithya, and therefore beggar does not create a duality. In spite of acting as a beggar, the actor does not become the beggar. He just appears as beggar. Now, having thus said that prapancha is mithya, that means there is no duality. There is non-duality in spite of duality. What Vedanta teaches is, non-duality is not absence of duality, but non-duality is in spite of duality. Meaning that when all the differences will merge, then the non-duality will emerge. Our Swami used to make a lot of jokes about this, and that's what the yoga seeks to do that. Because yoga is based on the Sankhya philosophy, which considers Prakriti or universe as real, which considers mind as real. And therefore, as long as mind is, so long there is going to be bondage. And therefore, chitta vritti nirodha, you must stop the mind completely, then there is complete freedom. So Swami is like waiting for all the waves to subside and then the water will come up. He says, no. Water is even when the waves are. Meaning that it's not the mind that creates the bondage. If presence of mind created bondage, you can never become free from bondage whenever you are aware, because the mind will be there. It's not the presence of mind that creates the bondage. It is giving reality to the mind, that's what causes bondage. Looking upon mind as real, that's what causes the so-called duality and therefore the bondage. So Vedanta does not seek to even stop the mind, ideally. Vedanta is not seeking mindlessness, because usually meditation means thoughtlessness. Our own people will say, Swami, how do you make the mind thoughtless? Even though every day millions of times we say that, you don't need. What you need is the mithyatma of the mind, the thoughtlessness. And the struggle, nothing wrong with thoughtlessness, it's fine. We have it every time in the deep sleep anyway, and then you can have thoughtlessness. But as long as we think that the thought is the problem goes away when the thought goes away. Problem comes away when the thought comes back. So Vedanta says, inquire into the reality of the thought. Manasantu kim margane krute naiva manasam marga arjavad. Have you heard this? Upadesaram. So Ramana Maharshi also talked about bhakti and then yoga and all kind of things. And then comes back to jnana, marga arjava. That this is a path which is straightforward. This path of inquiry is this straightforward path. So rather than trying to stop the mind and first of all understand what the mind is and then decide what you want to do with it. Manasandukim. What is the mind? Iti margane krute, when that inquiry is performed as to what is this mind, naiva manasam, you find that mind is not there. So if you don't want the mind, do this. Throw a torchlight of inquiry into the mind and the mind is not there. How? So then the inquiry is conducted like this. Vrittyastaham vrittimāshritaha vrittayo mano vidyaham manah. So Ramana Maharshi says, what is mind? Nothing but thoughts. Mind is flow of thoughts. Alright? So then what are these thoughts? The thoughts in turn can be classified into two categories. The I thought and this thought. So all thoughts can be classified into two categories, the subject thought and the object thought. So we say manaha, buddhi, chittam, ahankara. Ahankara, aham vritti is subject thought. Manaha, buddhi, chittam. The mind, intellect, memory, all of this is object thought. So mind means thoughts. Thoughts means subject thought and object thought. Alright? Now what's the relationship between the object thought and subject thought? Which one is dependent? Which one is independent? We find that object thought is dependent upon the subject thought. Other thoughts are dependent upon I thought. The I thought has to be there for the object thought to be there. Whereas object thought need not be there for the I thought to be there. See, when we wake up, the first thought that arises is I. The first awareness is awareness of I. Then I become aware of other things, including our own body, mind, etc. So, the object thought is dependent upon the subject thought. So, object thought doesn't have a reality apart from subject thought. And therefore, really what is I thought or subject thought. So, what is mind? Thoughts. What are thoughts? Object thought and subject thought. Between them, one is dependent, other independent. Therefore, what is thought is nothing but the I thought. So now you would inquire, where is it? So ahamayam kuto bhavati. Next question is, where does the I thought arise from? Iti chinvata. When you inquire into this, look into the very source of the I thought. The I thought also has two components. One is changing, other is changeless. I thought also has two aspects, the changing as well as changeless. The changing aspect is dropped, is given up, then what remains as a content of I thought, which cannot be given up, which cannot be negated, is Parama Purana Sat. What remains is Sat existence, which is Puranam complete, which is Paramam limitless. So this is the Vedantic way of dealing with the mind. One way is take the mind and then twist it and turn it and stop it and do things. That is also a way. Like a calf, The two ways of dealing with this fellow calf is this pretty mischievous creature, let us say. And he runs around here and there. And you chase the calf and it makes you run. Or show him some green grass. It comes and you can tame it. So either you give the mind the reality and then try to control it, or inquire into what is the mind. Mind is not apart from I thought, not apart from this thought. So that means ultimately mind turns out to be I thought, which is nothing but consciousness. So mind is not apart from consciousness. Mind does not have a reality apart from consciousness. And therefore, mind is not real. When unreal things recognize unreal, then there is no problem because unreal never causes problem. It's a real thing that causes problem. A real person can cause me a problem. A person in mirror cannot cause me a problem if I know that is a reflection. If I give it reality, it can cause me problem. Sometimes you can get scared. In a dark room you are sitting and there is a lamp here and you see on the wall a huge ghost. Nothing but your own reflection, your own shadow. But then you can get scared if you think that it's real. So Vedanta says that all the problems arise from giving reality to what is unreal. Therefore, the reality of prapancha or the duality was examined in so many verses to arrive at the understanding that prapancha or the creation is mithya in as much as it is a projection, like the snake is upon the rope. And then also several verses are quoted. saying that, look, Shruti also says very clearly that what is, so Shrutya Nivaritam Nunam Nanatvam Neha Nanasti Kinchana. So Sarvam Atmedi Shasanat. One hand Shruti says that what is Atma? Also says Neha Nanasti Kinchana. There is no duality whatever here. So thus, Prapancha Mithyatvam. Prapancha, duality is Mithya, therefore does not stand apart from Satyam, does not stand apart from Atma, meaning that Atma includes the whole thing. What it means is that in the knowledge of I, for the wise person, for the ignorant person, I excludes everything outside his body. Because an ignorant person superimposes the body upon the self and thinks that I am only as good as the body, as big as the body, I am only confined to the body, and whatever is outside of the body is different from me, I am different from it. When you recognize that what is called the Dvaita is Mithya, you know what it means? It means that the I of the wise person includes the whole universe. The I expands to include everything. Then only nothing can stand apart from him. A thing can become a problem when it stands apart from me. When it is different from me, it stands in contrast to me. It excludes me. So right now, everything is a problem because I exclude that and that excludes me. But in knowledge of the true nature of the I, you find that I is simple consciousness, which has no form, no boundary, and therefore cannot be confined to this body because body also is in consciousness. And then all names and forms also are in consciousness. Nothing can stand apart from consciousness because whatever you are aware of has to be in your consciousness, meaning consciousness pervades everything. Our Swami would say that look, the star, the sun is not apart from space, the moon is not apart from space, the stars are not apart from space because they're all, space includes all of them, isn't it? Nothing in the universe is apart from space, correct? But space is not apart from consciousness because you are conscious of space also. Meaning consciousness includes everything. If consciousness is I, then I includes everything. Nothing is excluded. Nothing stands apart. So this is the kind of goal that Vedanta gives us. Is to become so vast that nothing remains outside of my boundary. That's the reason why they teach us these values of becoming vast, of stretching. That's what Karma Yoga is. When they say that you become a contributor, you become an offerer, meaning what? You include them in you. Normally we keep on only propitiating our ego. So start propitiating others and then slowly include them. Stretch yourself to include them. How far? Such that you include the whole universe. So that's the value. Only when we follow that kind of value, ultimately this becomes a reality for us. So meaning that's the reason why Viveka, Vairagya, Samadhi, Shatka, Sampatti are all taught to us. What we call the purity of mind is nothing but the vastness of the mind, nothing but large-heartedness, nothing but accommodation, nothing but the one that does not stand apart from anybody, who doesn't stand in opposition to anybody. That's the attitude, which results into the knowledge of the self also that opposes nothing, that includes everything, good, bad, and indifferent. Having said about the non-duality, so earlier it is said that the universe is mithya. Another way of saying is, the universe is Brahman. Either you can say that Brahman alone is everywhere, you can say Atma alone is all there is. If Atma alone is, then everything is mithya. If Brahman alone is, then everything is manifestation of Brahman. So now next section shows how what we call Jagat or universe is nothing but Brahman. So earlier it is said, the Shruti propounds the oneness of Atma and also condemns the duality by saying that the one who sees that gives reality duality goes from one death to the other. Okay, Tari kim kuryat? Then what should we do? And so in the verse 49, the answer is being given now. Brahmana sarva bhutani jayante paramatmanah tasmadetani brahmaiva bhavanti ityavadharayet. Iti avadharayet. May you understand, may you know, may you ascertain. So let this be your conclusion, let this be your conviction. So may you come to this conviction. What is the conviction? Tasmadetani brahmaiva bhavanti. Tasmad, therefore, etani brahma, etani, all of these, bhutani, all these beings are Brahmaiva bhavanti. All of these are indeed nothing but Brahman. So understand or see this fact that all the beings are nothing but Brahman. Why? Brahmana sarvabhutani jayante. Again, this is the same proposition that we find in Upanishad. So in Mundaka Upanishad we find the aspirant coming to the teacher and asking this question. Kasmin bhagava vijñāte saranam vijñātam bhavati. O revered sir, what is it, knowing which all this becomes known? Or a question is asked in the Chandogya Upanishad. When young man Shvetaketu, who is sent to the teacher to study the Vedas, at the age of 12, Swami likes that. See? Shvetaketu went to the Guru at the age of 12. And you are sending your children when you send him to KG when he's hardly KG, So child is 1 kg and you send him to KG, whatever. So, this Swami is, so Shvetaketu goes to the teacher and lives there for 12 years and studies all the way. That's a brilliant boy, young man. But comes back very proud, arrogant, with the notion that I am a scholar. I'm a great orator. There's nobody like me. So Mahamanaha Anuchanamani Stabdha Eaya. Mahamanaha. Nobody is like me. Nobody is as intelligent as I am. Anuchanamani. I can expound on any topic. Stabdha. Would not bend down to anybody. Stiff. That's what the knowledge led him to. Normally, Vidya Vinayana Shobhate, they say that when you gain the knowledge, then you become more humble. Like the trees, when they bear fruits, then they bend down. So also, when you gain knowledge, then you bend down. This fellow is stiff. So then father called him once and asked a brilliant question to turn around his son completely from being a stiff, unbending, proud, arrogant young man to an humble seeker of knowledge. See, you cannot teach somebody unless that fellow wants to learn. Vedanta cannot be shoved down the throat of people, if they're not interested. Regardless of what you do. And so Father knew that you cannot teach him unless he wants to learn. And so the Father asks him, hey, I find that you are pretty conscious that you are a very great scholar and an orator. And I find you very stiff. I'm sure that you must have learned that. What did you ask of a teacher? Knowing which everything becomes known? So this is what? Knowing one thing, everything becomes known. How can it be? If you know one thing, how can other thing be known? If you know the part, how can the cloth be known? I've never heard of this. That knowing one thing, other things can be known. Katham sadesha bhavati. So now he realizes that there's something that he does not know. All of his pride and everything just subsided right away. And he became a jignasu. Meaning what? He became a seeker of knowledge. Ask his father, what is the nature of that adesha? What's the nature of the teaching? How can it be that by knowing one thing, everything becomes known? Yatha somya ekena vrutpindena sram runmam vijñātam syāt. Hey Somya, oh Priyadarshana, oh good looking one, oh dear. Just as by knowing one particle of clay, everything made of clay is as well known. By knowing one ring of gold, everything made of gold is known. By knowing one small article of iron, everything made of iron is known. Thus by knowing one thing, everything can be known. He's flabbergasted. That's right. Oh wow, that's amazing. Oh, may I have that knowledge, please? So then, of course, from son, he got converted disciple, a jignasu. And then, of course, the teaching was imparted. But this is a standard pratigna or a proposition of Upanishads. By knowing one, you know everything. For the simple reason, the human mind is tremendously curious, wants to know everything. If I had my way, I would want to know how many stars are there, how many grains of sand are there, I would want to know everything. It's impossible. Then how can you satisfy this desire of the mind to know everything? So Upanishad says, there is one thing by knowing which everything is as well known. What is that one thing? Just as by knowing the clay, all the pots and pans made of clay are known. What is clay? Upadana karanam, material cause. What is material cause? Material cause is that from which the effect emerges. The pot emerges from clay, sustained by clay, merges back into clay. So that is the definition of material cause, from which the effect emerges, by which the effect is sustained, and to which effect goes back. If that material cause is known, upadana karanam is known, then pot and everything is as well known. So the question is, in Mundoka is there something knowing which everything becomes known? Meaning that, is there a material cause? Is there one material cause of the whole this diverse universe? If you know that, then everything is as well known. Teacher says, yes, there is something. So that is called Sat or Brahman. And how is this said? Brahmana sarvabhutani jayante paramatmana. So Taittiriya Upanishad says, Yato va imani bhutani jayante yena jatani jivanti yat prayanti abhisamvishanti tad vijignyasasva tad brahmeti. So there, this aspirant, whose name is Bhrigu, must be famous Maharshi Bhrigu, he approaches his father, Varuna. So in those days, father also used to be a teacher and son used to be the disciple. And that is the most ideal combination. Of course, Guru always gives the best to the disciple, but father can definitely be expected to give the very best to his son. Because supposedly son is dearest to the father. And therefore, father will always give the very best to the son. So when you have this combination, that father is a teacher and son is a disciple, you can be pretty sure that the very best is given to him. So Bhrigu goes to Varuna, the father. Adi Bhago Brahma iti. The revered sir, please teach me Brahman. What is Brahman? Yato va imani bhutani jayante. Hey Bhrigu, that from which all these beings and things and beings are born. Yena jatani jivanti. Having born or emerged, that by whom, of which all of them are sustained. Yat prayanti. At the time of dissolution, they return back and merge into it. Tad vijignyasasva, may you seek to know that, tad brahma iti, that is Brahman. So in that place, Brahman, Bhrigu wanted to know what is Brahman. Brahman is described as that from which the universe emerges, by which universe is sustained, unto which the universe goes and merges back. Meaning, Brahman is described as the material cause. Just as the clay is the material cause of the parts, because parts emerge from clay, are sustained by clay, they merge back into clay. Similarly, the universe emerges from Brahman, is sustained by Brahman, merges back into Brahman. So Brahman is presented there as the material cause. What is Brahman? Bruhatvad Brahma. Bruhatvad Aparichinnatvad Brahma. The word Brahma itself conveys, the word conveys its meaning. You can understand the meaning of a word when you inquire into the etymology as to what it is, what is the source of this word. In Sanskrit there are all these verbal roots, some 2200 verbal roots are there. And they trace the formation of all the words to those basic roots. So Brahman, this word is derived from what? Root bruh. Bruhatvat. Bruhatvat, aparichinnatvat. So that which is unlimited, free from limit, bruhatvat, that which is big, unlimited. So Bruhatvat Brahma. So that which is limitless is called Brahman. So but Brahma itself conveys limitlessness. So what is Brahman? Limitless is Brahman. So this is an interesting thing. From Brahman, the universe emerges. What is universe, you know? It is a limited. Universe is limited. Why is it limited? Because it has a beginning. It may be 12, 13, 14, whatever number of billion, but so many billion years ago, the universe emerged from a Big Bang or whatever the process was. Universe is supposedly expanding universe. As long as the energy will last, once it runs out of steam, then it starts contracting and back to the cause. Then may emerge again. So this universe has a beginning, has an end, and therefore it is limited in time. So whatever is created is going to perish, limited in time. So universe is limited in time, place, as well as in attributes. What is Brahman? Limitless. Now interesting thing is, the limited universe is born of Brahman, sustained by Brahman, goes back into Brahman. How does that work? How can limited emerge from limitless? So it can't be real emergence. Only limitless appears as the limited. Anyway, so that's how. But anyway, going back to the fact that Brahman is material cause, tasmadetani brahmeva bhavanti. Just as all the pots and pans which are there from clay, they emerge from clay, they are sustained by clay, they emerge back into clay, therefore the pots are nothing but clay. All ornaments emerge from gold, sustained by gold, merge back into the ornaments, nothing but gold. All the waves emerge from water, sustained by water, merge back into water, therefore the waves are nothing but water. Similarly, the whole universe of names and forms emerges from Brahman, sustained by Brahman, merges back into Brahman, therefore nothing but Brahman. What is Brahman? Asti Bhati Priyam. The universe emerges from Satyam, Jnanam, Anantam Brahma. Satyam means Asti, Jnanam is Bhati, Anantam is Ananda. So from Asti Bhati Priyam, Satyam Jnananandam, the universe emerges, sustained, and goes back. Therefore, these pots are nothing but clay. Similarly, the universe is nothing but Brahman. Very simple, isn't it? The effect such as pot is nothing but clay. In this pot, there is nothing more than clay, understand? Because take away the clay from this pot, nothing remains. If some residue remains, then you can say that you added something into clay to make a pot, but no. Similarly, there is nothing other than Brahman, the universe. Because Brahman is the material cause. So how do you see clay in this pot? That's easy. Because in this case, the clay comes with the pot. Meaning that clay is very evident, as evident as the pot. So it's easy to see that these pots are nothing but clay. And that's not the case with this universe. I don't see Brahman. Where is Brahman, Swami? I don't see Brahman anywhere. I don't see God anywhere. Brahman means God. From God the universe has emerged. By God universe is sustained. And to God universe merges back. So what is this God? You understand? What is this Brahman? Or what is this God? Or what is this Ishvara? So not that we worship many gods, not that we worship one God, we worship only God. So how do you see God here? Where is God, Swamiji? In this fellow there is God. So moment we say this, the next question, is there God in criminal also? But you see in yourself first and then they always talk of difficult cases, criminal. And he sees him in a saint, and he see there, someplace you start. So that's why we are given all these things, these devatas. And you start seeing here, where it's easy to see. Then go to difficult places. No doubt that everything is Ishvara. So Vinoba Bhava says that Lord Krishna says, I'm in the friend also in enemy. He says, before you bother to see Ishvara in enemy, you start seeing him in friend. Take the easy things first. And slowly you can perhaps be able to solve the difficult. But they always start, how about where is God in criminal? Tell me. Depends on what you mean by God. I don't see God anywhere. Depends on what the concept of God is. If God means having four arms and holding, Shankara, Chakra, Gada, Padma, a conch and a discus, and if that's the concept of God, I don't see. If Krishna is God, I don't see Krishna everywhere. So what is God? As Upanishad explains, what is the nature of God? How do you see God in all these variety of names and forms? How do you see clay in this pot? When you overlook or I become indifferent to the name and form. The way to see the clay in this pot is when we become indifferent to the name and form of the pot. The way to see the gold in the ornament is when we become indifferent to the name and form of the ornament. Is it not so? Usually we are always preoccupied with the design and this and that and that, where we often fail to see the gold aspect. Like those young girls, when the mother is getting them ready for going to some function, then the girl makes choices, I don't know, give me that one, give me this one. So everything is gold. But she distinguishes one from the other because she sees only form and the design. What it is gold. But to see gold in an ornament, you have to become what? Indifferent to the name and the form and the design and everything. And they call indifferent. Or you can say, you should accommodate all names and forms. Be compassionate to all names and forms. This ugly ornament doesn't matter. Be compassionate. To whether it is a ugly ornament or a beautiful ornament, accommodate everything. One way, either becoming is all mithya, that's one way. Or accommodate them. Then they won't matter. Mithya also does not matter, and what you accommodate also does not matter. Then you can see that what is gold. Meaning that the way to see Brahman is to accommodate or become indifferent to the names and forms. What do names and forms do to us? Names and forms create raga and dvesha, attachment and aversion. Because if I look upon myself as a name and form, look at you as another name and form, then two names and forms can never be identical. They are always going to be different. One name and form will be likable, other will be dislikable, and therefore, when one name and form interacts with another name and form, there is going to be either like or dislike. So what do we do? What need do we do to see what is samah shantaha? So that which is equally present in all of them is become free from likes and dislikes, which are created by giving reality to the name and form. So that's why vairagya comes. Vairagya means what? Freedom from likes and dislikes. Meaning, freedom from giving reality to the name and form. Freedom from giving reality to the costume. Understand that gold comes in this costume. What is gold? Whether you call it chain, call it bangle, or earring, all these names and forms are the costume of the gold. What is important is gold. So if no ragadvesha for the name and form, no preferences for name and form, no demand and expectation as to what the name and form should be, then our mind is ready to see what is the actor or the content of name and form. To see the content, you have to become indifferent towards the form or the vehicle in which the content comes. It is a form or name and form that creates ragadvesha. Therefore, when the mind becomes free from ragadvesha, it sees what is universally present everywhere. Tasmat etani brahmeva bhavanti deva. Therefore, all of these are nothing but Brahma. Satyam, Jnanam, Anantam, or Asti, Bhati, Priya. See this fact. Id avadhare. So what do we do? You said that the duality is mithya. Alright, then what do we do with that knowledge? Recognize that non-dual alone is truth. How? Because duality is mithya, therefore Mithya never in any way excludes Satyam. Therefore, in all this duality also, Brahman is very much present. So see that by recognizing that duality is Mithya, name and form is Mithya. And therefore, it doesn't matter what it is. So what is given meaning meant by free from raga dvesha is it does not matter what the form is, does not matter what the name is, does not matter what the function is, does not matter what the activity is. Can you become that indifferent or that accommodative? So therefore, everything is Brahmanit avadharayet. When you come to this understanding or conclusion that what is Brahman. So this theme is now described in all these different verses. Same theme. With the reference to many statements from the Upanishads. As to all the Upanishads only communicate this idea. Okay, we'll continue. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutra Bhashya Krutau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punah. Ishvaro Gururatmeri Murti Bheda Vibhagine Vyomavad Vyapta Dehaya Dakshina Murtaye Namaha. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om. Shri Gurubhyo